Today we're going to look at a passage in John chapter 12. In this chapter, Jesus is nearing the time of his crucifixion, when he is going to be put to death on the cross. And at this point in time, there were many people who were believing in Jesus, but there were also others who had rejected him. In particular, the leaders of the people had rejected Jesus, and they were plotting together to have him put to death. But as Jesus explained at the end of John chapter 12, the message that he brought was the message that came from God the Father. And so if they rejected Jesus, they were rejecting God in heaven, because it was his message. As they were in agreement, Jesus came from the Father, he came as God in the flesh. If they rejected Jesus, they were rejecting the message from heaven. They were rejecting God himself. And so in John chapter 12 and verse 48, Jesus said, "He who rejects me and does not receive my sayings has one who judges him. The word I spoke is what will judge him at the last day." If we reject Jesus, then we are going to be judged by his word. That is what will judge us in the last day. So there are 3 points we need to take from this. Number one, we need to make sure that we're following his word. We need to make sure that we are doing what the Lord said we are to do, that we are obeying his commandments and following him in everything that we do. The second point is that we need to be careful not to judge others or condemn others for not living up to the standard that we think they ought to live up to, by conforming to our opinions. Because our opinion and our standard is not what's going to judge anyone in the last day. It's the Lord's word that will judge them. But a third point that we can take from this is that we don't need to be pressured or bullied or compelled into accepting the opinions and the judgments of others, because their word is not going to judge us in the last day. It's only the word of Christ. So we need to not worry about the opinions of others and not push our opinions on other people either. Instead, we need to just focus on what Jesus said. Focus on his words and doing his will, because that's how we prepare for that judgment in the last day. And so as we think about what Jesus said here, let's focus on his word. Focus on doing his will. We don't want to reject him. We don't want to say, well, I want to follow after something else, whether it's my opinion or what this other person wants me to do or what this religious doctrine tells me to do. We need to follow what Jesus has said. We need to follow his will that is expressed in his word. So let's be busy doing that. Let's be focusing on the words of Christ so that we can be prepared for that last day.